Hello, my name is Josh C, and tonight I will be talking about video games and how they relate to brain development. Now, usually when we hear video games and brain development in the same sentence, we generally think of the negative connotation that is often displayed in the media. However, tonight I will be actually talking about the positive connotations of video game playing, such as situational analysis, problem solving, and hand-eye coordination. Now, what actually is situational analysis? According to Piers and Giles in their 1983 article, the type of situational analysis I am talking about is often called SWOT, or strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats analysis. Situational analysis is the ability for someone to take in their surroundings and the objects within their surroundings and use them to complete a task. Video games do this by, or help in the training of this skill by by growing the gray matter of the brain, which often has a role to play in spatial navigation, strategic planning, working memory, and motor skills, as said by Kuhn and his co-writers in a 2014 article. Many games exercise these skills by forcing players to complete various tasks. One good example of this is how in the Assassin's Creed games, players are often forced to navigate over rooftops or through crowds to reach a target. Now that we know somewhat of how situational analysis works, let's move on to problem solving, which is exactly what it says it is. Problem solving is the ability for someone to figure out a way to overcome an obstacle they are faced with. Recently, many forms of games, especially MMOs and strategic games, work this skill of problem solving a lot. In a paper by Israel and other writers in 2014, MMOs were said to have players either work by themselves or together to complete a task at hand. In strategic games, you are often forced to maintain various resources such as populations or economies in order to win, as said by the American Psychological Association and Brown University in a 2013 paper. This idea of problem solving allows people to look at things in real life and think, how would I solve this very quickly? Now that we know what spatial or situational analysis and problem solving are, let's move on to hand-eye coordination. Hand-eye coordination is the ability to look at something you are doing without actually having to look at your hands while doing it, as said by Griffiths in a 2014 paper. Many games force players to look at the screen in order to complete a task in the allotted time, and they can't look at their hands. This relates to real life by allowing many people to absent-mindedly do these sorts of tasks like playing guitar or writing a paper on computer or even driving a car without having to look at what their hands are doing. Now let's recap a bit. Video games help the brain develop skills of situational analysis, problem solving, and hand-eye coordination. Despite popular belief, video games are actually very helpful to a child's brain if they play the age-appropriate games. Thank you.